here we are with the CEO of AURALiC.
Yeah.
AURALiC or AURALiC?
AURALiC.
AURALic.
Yeah.
Okay.
AURALic.
And thank you for your time for this
Sure.
interview. And my first question is, I was the proud owner of the first Vega many years ago.
2012.
Yes, and I was very happy with that product. Are there any connection between that old model and the brand new G3.3?
The technology is always evolving.
Yeah.
So it's not like you have a new product. It's just completely different. So the technology always evolving, and you kind of like bring some of the old technology into the new product. You develop something new, and it keep moving on. For example, in the original Vega, we already have what is called the Orfeo Class A module, right?
Yeah.
So that's a very good module, and that module actually is being used in the current G3 and G2.2.
Is it true that that model were based on a design from Rupert Neve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on their, I think it's 78 is a console, because I read my college in the master's degree doing the recording arts, and
Okay.
I also have a electronic engineer degree. So I actually have a fortune to repair one of their very famous analog console.
Okay.
So I measured their performance and like the sound, so kind of like doing some research of how it's being approached. Then it actually inspired me to create the Orfeo Class A module. It's a very cool module that it doesn't use a lot of power, but has a very good performance. The distortion level is very low, below 120 dB minus, and you can use that to drive 600 ohm load.
Yeah.
You can measure the distortion level go up. It sounds very good, and the technology is very advanced. So the analog technology doesn't really change a lot since 2016.
Yeah.
No, sorry, in 1916.
Yeah.
So it's always about just using a better component to achieve better performance. But the basic principles never change.
Okay, and sound-wise, do you think that there is a connection between the two products or not?
We at AURALiC, we basically try to make the digital source sounds as neutral as possible, because we don't want to add things. This is the source. This is the first piece of your system. You don't want to add a lot of flavor. You want to make it as neutral as possible. When the customers want to say, hey, I want a warmer sound, I want the mid-range to be a little bit, rich, they can always adjust that using the power amplifier or even the speaker or the cable. So we want to preserve most of the detail in the recording and reproduce as accurate as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, after the first,
Thank you.
after the first Vega, I was also the owner of the first Aries.
Yeah.
the
very
very
interesting-
strange
yeah,
with
yeah.
the plastic enclosure, and the product I remember was amazing. But the thing that I appreciate a lot at that time was that it removed the PC from the listening room.
Yeah.
And this was a huge step forward. What do you think about the role of PC in PC audio? Is it something that is too old to accept, or it still has a role?
I would say we call it computer audio.
Computer
But the
audio.
computer audio still have a role in the audiophile industry or audiophile community. The reason to do that is because in that, there you can run different software, and the software have a different options that you can basically just adjust the sound based on what you want, and there are a lot of choices. So for the very advanced customer or users, they can use different software to fine-tune the sound of the system, and so it's still an option. But the reason you have the streamer is not all the the users are so technology at once, they know what they're doing. Most of people just want a good system that just one button click and it sounds great.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the challenging part for the computer audio first is the software. It's very complicated to make it right. Especially back to the 2000, the Windows was not so advanced. The other thing about is the computer board is you have all the things inside. When you feed into external DAC, the noise always go through the circle to the other one. And also different manufacturers make different computer board. It definitely has a huge difference. So you have too much variations in the computer audio. A normal general, people just doesn't know the advanced technology. So many things is out of their control. They cannot make it sound right. So having the streamer to have everything the very well controlled is the key to make a successful product and to make sure the customer has something out of the box. It will sound the best.
Okay. Do you think that an internet streaming platform placed inside the DAC could be problematic as for noise or other aspects, or is something that you have managed to solve completely?
So I think it's really depending on the technical approach from different manufacturers. For us, it's never a problem. The reason it's never because of a problem is because we have a technology called memory cache. So the memory cache is this technology basically, like say you are streaming from either a NAS drive or from internet server, you got an address of what is the physical file is. So the streamer will try to download the file into the system memory stored in the machine, and it will actually shut down the network
connection.
It plays from the system memory, so it doesn't matter if it's on internet or on NAS drive. For us, we have this advanced technology we can use. So whatever you stream, it doesn't affect sound quality. But some of the manufacturers, I don't know the name, but I know a lot of them, they just basically stream live from the internet. So the internet speed, the quality of your connection, a lot of variations is going to play a role in the, the sound quality.
Okay, that's interesting. Let's go to the Tesla platform. Could you explain briefly what it is for our readers?
So Tesla, first it's just a name. It's a name. It's not just one piece of the hardware. It's actually a structure of the insane. It contains a processor. It has system memory. It has all the circuits surround that. So it creates what is called a platform. So the platform is basically you can adopt the platform and achieve different functions. So the Tesla G3 is the latest platform we use. It has a different processor. It has a bigger system memory. And because we have a new processor, all the audio circuits connected to the Tesla is right now has what is called direct memory access (DMA). So you actually reach the data directly from the system memory, and it has a very low latency and jitter. Previously in the Tesla G2 and the G1, because the technology is not that advanced, we have to use USB as a bridge between the audio circuit and the processor. So use USB audio as a bridge to connect everything. It's not ideal, but back to the days we do that is the best solution. Right now we have the direct memory access. Everything it's much better.
Okay, that's great. And as for the Lightning application, are there any improvements, or because I feel that the Lightning, and this is something that I appreciate, the interface has been consistent over the year.
Yeah.
So every time I receive a new AURALiC from the distributor, it's easy to configure, to do everything. But are there any hidden new things inside the application?
Sure. This is actually a very interesting topic. So when we do the software upgrade, we always do what is called incremental improvement. You don't want a dramatic change of the software because people it's just a human. They kind of like they know something, they get to use something, they feel comfortable. And when you change that, it will feel uncomfortable. And everything new, it has a learning curve.
Yeah.
So when you have the software, you don't want to suddenly change a lot of things because people have to learn the new things. They have to adopt that. It's actually an uncomfortable experience. So talking about the software, when we do the upgrade, we always do incremental. So that's why it looks very similar. The goal is to make sure people don't feel the difference. And you just bring new things one by one, so over the time, it's actually better. So comparing right now and maybe 7-8 years ago is actually a lot of different.
Yeah.
And still, we have a lot of features people just don't know. It's just there because the software is always a very complicated piece of thing that you never know enough. For example, you can navigate the manuals, it's layer by layer and layer. And when you go back, you can actually push and hold the back bottom. It will bring out the side menu. You don't need to go all the way up.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say most of people don't even know that. There are so many tricks and still waiting for people to discover. We just need to bring it to the customer and educate them to just learn that. Also same for the improvement side.
You still don't have an Android application, am I correct?
We don't have the Android version. So
which is the best way for an Android user to use your product?
So there are a couple of different options. Our device is Open Home Protocol compatible.
Yeah.
So basically, on the Android device, you have a software called Bubble UPnP.
Yes.
That's a free software. You can use that to control everything works smoothly, no problem. And you can also use Lean software, I believe it's called Kazoo.
Yes.
You can use that control as soon as you have the volume control enabled. If you disable the volume control, that software doesn't work because Lean does not allow device to disable the volume control.
I try also mConnect.
I'm not an Android guy, so I don't know about that. But the software has to be Open Home compatible, not UPnP.
Yes.
It's different. So I think Bubble UPnP has a paid version called Bubble DS that also works.
And as for the configuration of the device, you can rely on the web interface.
Yeah, you just type the IP address of the device in the browser. Everything's there, and there is actually a manual on the right-hand side.
Yes.
So you read them side by side, do all the configuration, and that interface is multi-language. We have English, we have German, we have French, we have Chinese. We're adding more and to different areas. Like we're talking about, maybe we're going to add Italian, in the future. So people is going to use it better.
Which are the new things that you are presenting here in Munich?
In the Munich, we're bringing 4 new products based on our Tesla G3 platform. It's the Aries G2.2, Aries G3, Vega G2.2, and the Vega G3.
Okay.
So the Aries G2.2 is replacing the current Aries G2.1.
Yeah.
Most of the features remain the same. It's a streaming transport. It's just a newer Tesla platform. Everything is faster. It just sounds better. And the Aries G3 is totally different thing. We call it a streaming processor because we have the FPGA-based processing platform. It has the previous series functions integrated, and you can connect a bunch of digital input to the Aries, and will process the signal, doing the room correction, and send to your DAC.
Okay.
And on the Vega side, the Vega G2.2 is very similar to the Vega G2.1, but we are bringing new functions such as we have a better preamplifier design. It has a better DAC, and the femto clock has been upgraded to a better solution. And on the Vega G3, we also have the FPGA-based POTUS X1 processor, which is doing the digital filtering and oversampling. And it also has a pure DAC mode, which allows the customers to disable the circuit and the software related to streaming completely, so it makes sounds better.
Okay. That's very interesting. One last thing about the naming that for me, maybe it's only for me, is somehow a little bit confusing.
Yeah, it's pretty normal. That's why we actually have a video. We shoot a video. We put it on our website. If you go to our website, the manual, you can see which product to buy. It explains how we name the product, and it's actually pretty easy. You have the name of the family, Aries, Vega, and Altair. It explains the functions of the unit. Aries is transport, digital output only. You need your own DAC. Altair, analog output only. You cannot provide the DAC, but the DAC is inside.
Yeah.
So Vega is primarily focused on DAC function. It has a limited streaming function. So you know the name, you know the functions you are going to get. And the numbers behind that, G1, G2, G3, representing the performance level
Yeah.
of the product. The higher, the better performance. And the small number after the dot means incremental generation change about what is the current one. At 0.1, you know, the G3 is the current one. We don't tell it G3.0, it's just G3.
Yes.
If it upgrade, it will be G3.1. And right now the 2 series has evolved into the 2.2, and the G1 series is still 1.1. So that's how you name it. So as long as you understand that, it's fairly easy to just have the name to read, okay,